My name is Marla Jones, and this video is about a classroom assessment technique called Kahoot. What is Kahoot? Kahoot is a game-based learning platform that is fun for students and provides feedback for instructors with regards to formative assessment. The instructor has made up the game from the website getkahoot.com, and students answer the questions directly from their mobile devices. The questions are displayed on a screen visible to all students. I would use the smartboard in my classroom. The game gives quick, real-time feedback for the students and the instructor. Because it is game-based and fun, it increases student engagement in the classroom. Kahoot can be used in the classroom to review and/or to reinforce topics, terminology, and definitions. When used in the middle of a lecture, the game can be re-energizing and also rewarding to the students when the content is reinforced immediately after being taught. Kahoot tests knowledge and understanding of course content while it is still fresh in the student's mind. The results of the game can show areas of strength for the students or areas of weaknesses that need to be improved upon. It can also show strengths and weaknesses in instructional methods as well, making this a good tool for both students and instructors. Kahoot can be played in teams, which will encourage collaboration in the classroom when students have to work together to come up with the answers to the questions. Kahoot can be played individually or as teams. As mentioned before, the players will answer questions on their mobile devices or their tablets or laptops. The questions have already been created by the instructor ahead of time and are displayed on a big screen at the front of the classroom. The students only need to go to getkahoot.com, and there they are given a PIN to enter into their device to get them into the game set up for that specific class. The game will be set up to determine course-related knowledge and skills that will reinforce what the student has already learned. Although Kahoot can also be used prior to teaching a course to determine what the students already know of the subject as well. Kahoot can reinforce facts, terminology, and definitions, as well as any type of sequencing work. You can use Kahoot in the classroom after teaching a course to reinforce knowledge just taught, and then again in the next class, in what is called ghost mode, to play against the previous score. This challenges the past results to see if the students retain the knowledge taught in the previous lesson. This will assess the students' progression and reinforce concepts through repetition. Setting up Kahoot is easy. You need to go to the website getkahoot.com and create an account if you do not already have one. The instructor then decides what type of game and questions that they want to play and ask and then create the game on the website. This is where the instructor will make sure that the concepts taught are the context of the questions in the Kahoot game they design. Once the game is created, in class, the students don't need to sign up to the account. They just need to sign in with the PIN given to them on the big screen, and away they go. There are a few limitations to playing Kahoot. First of all, the questions can only be made in a multiple choice format. Answering the questions about terminology, definitions, or sequencing are the only choices when setting up your Kahoot game. If playing individually, all students must have an electronic device, or if you choose to play in a group, at least one person must have an electronic device. And lastly, there must be an internet connection for all of your students. This year, we are encouraging all of our students to have a laptop or a tablet in our classroom, so I am hopeful that this will not be a limitation for us in the upcoming school year. There are several advantages to playing Kahoot. Kahoot makes learning fun for the students. It will work on any electronic device. There is no setup time required in the classroom, and it's free. The instructors and the students only need to go to getkahoot.com and sign in with the required PIN. There is no account required to play Kahoot. Kahoot can also be played in real time with other students around the world. It encourages social learning, and we know that social learning promotes discussion. In its team mode, it encourages collaboration between students to come up with the answers to the questions. Now let's talk about the best practices when playing Kahoot. Always be prepared well in advance of the class. Kahoot takes a little bit of prep time on the instructor's part so that the game is created and ready to play for the class that they want it to be in. Make sure that the quiz goes along at a good even pace for the students to follow. The setup and design offers a number of choices for the time intervals between questions. It is important that there is enough time for the students to answer the questions, especially if it is review of newly introduced topics. Make sure that the instructor explains the directions to play and answers all of the students' questions prior to playing the game. A good idea is to let the students know that you are assessing their learning in order to help them improve and not to grade them. The students need to be able to clearly understand the procedure. Let them know how it works and how much time they will have to complete the assessment. Another important thing to take into consideration is that all of your students have to be able to see the big screen with the questions on it, because all that will be displayed on their electronic devices are the options for the answers. Allowing the students to give the instructor feedback is also very important. If this is the first time using Kahoot in the classroom, it may be a great idea to get the students' feedback on what they thought of the game and the context to how it was used for that class. And make sure to always link content of the questions to the course outcomes. Kahoot shows the results of each question instantly as soon as all the students answer. The students can see their results on their electronic devices as well as how they compared to the rest of the class on the large screen in the classroom. Results can be downloaded and saved for instructors' review later to assess what should be reviewed the next day in the classroom, or the instructors can make notes during the game which questions were answered incorrectly by which percentage of students, and answer them immediately after playing the Kahoot game the very same class. In conclusion, Kahoot is a great classroom assessment technique that keeps the students feeling engaged and interested while having fun while they are learning. This game gives the students a sense of achievement, while it also gives the instructors a sense of how well the students are retaining the content the instructor has set out to teach them. The instructor also gets insight from playing the Kahoot game with their students on how the class setup went for that particular course, and shows the instructor areas that worked well and perhaps areas that may need to be developed a little more in the future. I look forward to playing Kahoot in my classroom in the new year and adding it to my other informal assessment techniques already used.